Standard operating procedures, or SOPs, have been a huge part of Michael G. Rizzo's career. Michael, who is the president and CEO of DCR Systems, a dealer-based collision center out of Mentor, Ohio, is going to tell us today why they're so important to the daily operations of his shops. So Michael, tell me why SOPs are so important to your operation.
Well, Jason, now we have 9 operating cells, and we want that customer to have the same experience at each and every one of them. So if we're not putting into place standards and standard work, it's pretty tough for that customer to have that same experience. So making sure that we're doing things with replication that makes sense in the quality manner that we want to is pretty important.
So tell me, how do you guys go about creating an SOP?
Well, first of all, we're mapping out our complete process from A to Z, which is super important. And years ago, in our family business days, we started our SOPs with documenting everything in the book, right? And we went over that with all of our people, and then that book went on the shelf. So today we realize it's got to be much more point of use. And so shop visuals make a lot of sense. Just standard written work that people can have access to, which is why we put it in our app, reviewing it over and over again, and then really encouraging our people to improve that process by, if a problem is identified, something comes up, something went awry. Well, why did it go awry? And is there not a standard that would have prevented that? Or is the standard no good? Or we're just not executing the standard. It could be something that simple. But it's really all designed for that consistent experience.
So Michael, how do you get your employees to follow your SOPs? Is it hard to get them to do that?
It is initially until you get them engaged. They've got to become part of the process. They're the ones that are doing the work. So if we have a standard in place and they're performing that standard, but they see an opportunity to improve it, we really look forward to them bringing that to us. And then we'll evaluate it, and it's usually as a result of a problem solved. So a problem arises, we have to then go back and find out, is there no standard that would have prevented it? Is the standard really no good? It doesn't work. Or are we just not executing our own standard? So we really try and get them engaged. By getting them engaged, we have a lot better chance that they're going to execute every time.
And how do you make sure that the SOPs are being followed? How do you enforce that and manage that?
So there's a number of steps through our process where we have quality control or quality checkpoints. And a lot of times it's actually just filling out a form or checking off the things were actually performed. So it's an audit of the prior steps of the process. So for example, when the vehicle comes in, we have a pre-repair plan set of standards. There's a number of things that need to be done before that vehicle is ever taken apart. It could include a complete customer information profile and our check-in sheet, which has a number of different important pieces of information. It could be our voice file that explains really the nature of the accident, so the repair planner then can get that firsthand. It could be everything from pre-scanning that we do, pre-washing, all of the photos and the way the photos are taken, every last bit of detail to make sure that that product is quality before it gets passed downstream. And then there's a checkpoint that goes and audits each one of those steps to make sure it's there. And it seems time consuming, but we all know that when we miss a step and it creates a customer problem, there's nothing more time consuming and painful.
Are the SOPs on display throughout the shop visually?
A lot of them are, so there's a lot of shop visuals in place, especially when it comes to the work that goes on the floor. But all of our SOPs are housed now in an app that when you become a team member at DCR, you get your secured login. And that app not only gives you all of our standard operating procedures and our standard work and our quality standards, it also tracks your career. So it's a really cool tool. You have to use it, but it's a great reference point beyond the stuff that's already out there on the shop floor. We're now really bringing back in more hard copy on the shop floor as well. Laminated so the technicians actually can read it while they're performing a task. So it's really a combination of a number of things. Jason, with today's complex vehicles, SOPs are more important than ever. So shops just need to just get started on them. Creating that standard work is going to help prevent a lot of problems down the road.
Thanks, Michael, for explaining why SOPs are so important to shops. I'm Jason Stahl. Thanks for watching.